Today we will be talking about the southern colonies, the characteristics that made them easier to settle, and I will be giving you a tour of my Minecraft representation of a plantation. The region of the southern colonies includes what is now Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. It had many physical features that defines the region, such as hills, broad coastal plains, forests, and rich farmland. The climate in the southern colonies was hot and wet. The advantage of this type of climate was that cold winter weather didn't really impact their survival. However, they did need to deal with tropical diseases that could be deadly, such as malaria. There were two reasons the colonists settled in the southern colonies. The first reason was that the rich farmland and hot, wet climate was perfect for farming cash crops. The main cash crops were rice, indigo, and tobacco. The second reason was that they wanted religious freedom from the Church of England. The planters, who were generally more wealthy, were Anglicans. Catholics settled in Maryland, where the first law for religious freedom was made in the colonies. The poor colonists were either Baptist or Methodist. Welcome to the guest dock of the plantation. Guests are always welcome since the plantation is so far away from the county seat. In front of us is the entrance to the plantation gardens. Here, rare plants are grown to show the plantation's success. Let's take a little stroll through the gardens on the way to the manor house. This is the main house of this plantation. This is where the planter and his family live. It is built out of bricks, so it is fire resistant and shows off the wealth of the planter. Let's move on to the kitchen. This is where the servants prepare the food for the planter's family. Fires were common, so the kitchen is a separate building from the main house. Follow me this way to the salt/smokehouse. This is where the servants preserved and stored the food to keep the food from going bad, because there's no refrigeration. Next stop of the tour are the slave quarters. Slave quarters used to be for indentured servants, but then they were repurposed for slaves kidnapped from Africa. They are small and cramped, which shows the status of slaves on the plantation. From here, it's just a short walk to the fields where the slaves would work all day. Here are the fields where the planter grows his cash crops. He grows rice, indigo, and tobacco. Most plantations would grow just one, but this guy's adventurous. Let's make a quick stop by the stables on the way to the warehouse. Here is where the planter's horses would be kept. This is the colony's version of a garage. Horses were the main means of transportation in those days. Now, if you would follow me this way to the warehouse. This is where the planter would dry out any crops, like tobacco. Here is where they are stored for shipping. We will end the tour on the docks. This is where the goods are ready to be picked up by the brokers to be sold at market. This concludes the plantation tour for Southern Colonies Minecraft Edition. Thank you for joining me today.